We're into the top 20 of the PFF 101. We're ranking the best players in the NFL from the 2018 season. Be sure to check out the other videos with the rest of the rankings. But as we get into the top 20, a quick reminder that it's all positions created equally, Mike. So it's not all just quarterbacks at the top of the list. Value not really considered here, but snap count is involved, so we don't have a ton of fullbacks, kickers, and punters in there. So let's get into it. The top 20, number 20, it's Jamal Adams from the New York Jets, one of the classic new age safeties in today's NFL. A guy that can play deep, he can play in the box, he can rush the passer. An excellent season for Jamal Adams, 89.7 grade. He had 22 pressures when he actually rushed the quarterback. That was number one among safeties. Led all safeties with 44 defensive stops, had 6 pass breakups. All those numbers show that he affects the game in so many different ways.
All right, on to number 19, where we have J.J. Watt. He's back on the list after multiple injury-shortened seasons. Wasn't quite back to his best. That saw him rank number 1 on this list in years past, but he was pretty darn close, especially given how serious those injuries were. 74 pressures this season, second among edge defenders, 17 sacks. I mean, he's a complete defensive end. Crazy that he's still doing it after all that he went through.
And when JJ was at his best, of course, he was always in the top 10. And another guy is usually in the top 10, Luke Kuechly at number 18, dropped off just a little bit this year, but still an outstanding season, 90.7 overall, 61 defensive stops. That was 4th in the NFL, the number 1 grade against the run at 92.3, and still very solid in coverage at 84.1. So Kuechly, often a top 10 player, still the number 2 linebacker, though, in the NFL this season.
I beat him in cornhole, week 3. On to number 17, where we have Grady Jarrett, defensive tackle for the Atlanta Falcons. Incoming free agent this offseason. He had himself a career year just at the right time. He had 53 pressures this past season, 24 run stops, and that 91.0 overall grade makes him into the top 20 this season. He'll be coveted highly on the free agent market.
All right, coming in at number 16, also along the defensive line, it's Cameron Jordan from the New Orleans Saints, 89.9 overall grade, 72 total pressures when you include the playoffs, 66 pressures in the regular season. That was number 9. And he's excellent against the run, number 4 in the NFL. Cam Jordan, I'd call him the most underrated player in the NFL.
I can get on board with that. All right, on to number 15. It's my boy, Chris Jones, Kansas City Chiefs interior defender. He put up numbers that, well, just never have seen from the interior. He had 15.5 sacks this season. That was the most by any 300-plus pound man since Warren Sapp in 2000, second most in NFL history by a 300-plus pound man. 11 straight games with a sack. That tied an NFL record. He put it all together here in year 3.
Yeah, that was your guy coming out of the draft a couple of years ago. You nailed it, Mike. Good job, man. Number 14, it's Eddie Jackson, safety for the Chicago Bears, probably the best playmaker in the entire NFL. He got our award for the best coverage player in the NFL this past season, a 93.2 overall grade during the regular season, 94.7 coverage grade that paced all safeties because he had 6 picks, multiple times found the end zone between pick 6s and fumble 6s, 8 pass breakups. Eddie Jackson just made plays all over the field for that Bears defense.
On to number 13, where we have yet another playmaker, this time on the offensive side of the ball, though. Tight end George Kittle, San Francisco 49ers. He did things after the catch this year that we've frankly never seen before. He had the most yards after catch of anyone ever in our grading system since we've been doing this in 2006, 873 yards after the catch. That's from a tight end. That doesn't usually happen. Usually it's running backs, wide receivers that get the yak. Tight end got the most, also led all tight ends in broken tackles after the catch, unsurprisingly with all those yaks he told.
You didn't even mention his run blocking?
And he's a fantastic run blocker.
Thank you. He's an all-around tight end.
It's a passing league, Steve, but yeah, he is darn
That's
good.
why he's higher than some of the other tight ends on the list, though. It helps. All right, number 12, it's Andrew Luck. We mentioned quarterbacks would be top 10 if we were talking about value, but Luck, the number 4 quarterback on this list, 91 overall grade. That was number 3 during the regular season among quarterbacks. He had the number 3 PFF grade on third down, and he only had 3 below average games this season. So for the most part, very, very consistent. He helped lead the Colts to that playoff run, and a bit of a change of scheme did really well for him as he got the ball out of his hands quicker than he ever had at any other time during his career, and that helped keep him healthy.
Yeah, he looked all the way back after that shoulder. All right, number 11, last one here before we get to the top 10. It's Akiem Hicks, interior defender for the Chicago Bears. Had himself a career year this past season. Probably the most disruptive interior nose tackle in the NFL on a snap-for-snap basis this season. 53 total pressures, and then was second to only Damon Harrison in run stop percentage. He affected both run and pass at a high level.
So there you have it. We are closing in now on the top 10 in the PFF 101. Check out the other videos to see where your favorite player ranked, and be sure to tune in to the top 10 to see who the best player was in all of football during the 2018 season.